What's up, everybody? This is Pete from the Pete Says Vlogcast. I'm so glad to be back. Maybe that music is a little loud. Let's turn it back. It's been a little bit. I know. We're going to get into some stuff. I'm going to say what's on my mind. You know how we do it. Pete Says Vlogcast. Kind of was thinking about this period that I'm going through. As you know, I share my personal journey with you to try to be as transparent as possible and to create a connection and let you know that you're not the only one that might be feeling the way that you are as an artist or creative. The idea that I came across is these highs and lows, and really diving in and thinking, what are they? What is the meaning of them? Is it just that we are just hitting this low point in life, or is there a reason for them? Is there something good that can be seen in the midst of those times when we're not connecting with who we really are as a person and as an artist or something, and we're not creating? You know, I know for myself, to just kind of lay a baseline to go off of, when I'm not creating, I kind of feel like I'm not being fully myself. You know, and I think that's really hard on me. I shouldn't do that to myself. And I shouldn't do that to myself, because there's so much more to me and to you than just creating. We want to be fully creative people that are healthy and are creating, like I've said in my other podcasts. And if you haven't, go check those out, because each one kind of is a layer that you can start creating this basis of who you are. If we're not creating from that place, that healthy place, then I think our art is going to suffer. Here's the idea: stagnation, hibernation, dormancy. What are they, and how can we relate it to being an artist or a creative person? Stagnation is a state marked by lack of flow, movement, or development. So it's going to be a pond or a lake that does not have any water flowing in or out of it, and you're going to see more algae. Nothing is keeping that fresh and clean. There's not a back and forth. There's not a flow to it. Hibernation is a state marked by inactivation, which resembles a deep sleep. Hibernation protects the animal from the need for food during a scarce season. Dormancy, a period when growth, development, and physical activity are temporarily stopped. They all sound fairly similar, and that's why I thought it would be kind of interesting to use those and then dive into each one and see what can we come up with to reflect in our own journey in our lives that we're going through. First, let's look at stagnation. That could be that time when we're just sitting here and we're like, I cannot connect with myself and my passion and create something out of that. So hibernation, an animal will actually, to prepare for hibernation, many animals will binge and store extra body fat for that season. So they know it's coming. Stagnation could be more of a mindset where you're just trapped in that mental block, you know, that in a mental jail cell, and you just have nothing, you can't get out of that. I think hibernation is a realization that you're going through a time that you might need to sleep. You might need to stop. Where does true creativity come from? It comes from deep passion, knowing God, knowing your creator, right? Connecting with him. And then out of that relationship comes that passion and that flow. There is something to be said for not creating it in a specific time. Giving yourself time to breathe. And I'm not saying like don't take responsibility or anything like that. And then your escape is creativity. Boom. If I'm using my creativity to escape from the mundane things that I don't like or the hard times, I think that's detrimental to my development as a creative person, because now it's going to be a habit and it's not going to be an outflow of my passion. Okay, so I'm going to run from the hard times that are coming, or I think are coming, or the things I don't like, and I'm going to run to creativity. And I think that's a completely different mindset and understanding than saying I need to create because there's so much in me and I'm so excited and it's an overflow. The other one that I thought was really cool, dormancy, a period when growth, development, and physical activity are temporarily stopped. Here's the big difference that I thought was interesting. This is closely related to environmental conditions and usually before adverse conditions. So dormancy is a little different. even then hibernation, where the animal knows it's coming, but that is kind of an innate sense. This is how I do life. I know that this is coming and it's okay, and I'm going to sit and relax, and I'm going to just develop my own character and stuff like that. Dormancy almost sounds to me like maybe closer to stagnation, because it is a period when growth and development and physical activity are temporarily stopped, almost out of fear, it sounds like. By knowing which state we're in, which mindset we're in, we can either dive into it more fully, or we can say, I need to get out of this state. I need a state of mind. I need to realize that I'm in a place that I shouldn't be. And how can I do it properly, though? For me, dealing with depression and anxiety, depression is like this weightiness where I can't even think through a thought or a feeling. I don't even know where to start, and things tend to kind of feel like they're just going black. Well, when I start noticing that, I need to say, okay, is this hibernation? Is this a time where I need to I'm piling all this stuff on. I am personally super hard on myself. Everything I do needs to be perfect, because it's a representation of who I am and how good I am and how accepted I am. And if you think that way, then I speak against it for you as well, because you have to know that even when you mess up, you're still valued. You're valued by God, by your heavenly Father, your master creator. He doesn't make mistakes. I could feel like a mistake, but that doesn't make it so. It's okay to feel that, but if you're allowing that thought and feeling to be where you start from, I think you're going to hurt yourself in the long run. There is time to stop and be ready before an adverse condition. There's certainly something to be said for that. But I think in hibernation, that's a realization that something's coming and you're getting ready for it. I think dormancy is just kind of like, I'm done. I drop the mic. And if you have a family like I do, I need to be present. So if I'm caught in my own headspace, if I'm in dormancy, then I'm cutting myself off from the environment. I think hibernation uses the environment. So as artists and creatives, when we know that life is starting to come at us, can we say, I got to get ready? I might have to lay low on the creativity because that takes from me, and I need to give my energy and time and who I am to this specific issue. And so when I come out of that, yeah, man, I'm ravenous, man, I'm hungry. Just like, I had this little period, if you look at, when I made my last video, it was a couple weeks or something, because I kept trying. I was in maybe dormancy or stagnation, and I finally had to be like, God, you need to help me understand who I am, how you see me, and then from that, I'll have something to give. Boom, I'm back in, baby. You have something to give. You have to know that. It can't be something that's coming out of the brain. It has to come from the soul and the heart. It has to come from the relationship that you have with your master creator. I'm sorry, but that's just it. So I have to know when I'm not feeling that, I have to go into hibernation and be like, yo, man, I need to do what I got to do to check myself, out of the rat race, out of the creative rat race that's fun and exciting, because I got to get back to it. I got to get back to the roots. I got to get back to who I really am and my relationship, so that I have something to give this way. This has to work first before I could do this, and then I can properly create from an overflow and excess of what I have. So we have to look at the fact that these seasons can come and go. Because I feel deeply, I tell my wife all the time, it's very evident when I'm up and down for myself. So can we learn how to have a lesser up and down time in our life? Because if we're creating from not peaks and valleys, but we're creating from a steady pace of creativity and passion, we can go longer. You're on a journey, and you need to find out how you can best produce the best art that comes from you. I want to leave you with this. Remember the differences of those periods when you're feeling low. Remember that your creations will be an outflow of who you are if you are being truly yourself. And that's the journey that we are all on, is creating an authentic art from our authentic self. If I'm creating art to impress you, then I'm doing wrong to myself. You may not like the stuff that I make, and I may not like the stuff that someone else makes. It may not connect with me, but I can say, man, I love that journey of who that person is. And that's the deeper connection that art has. that creativity has, is they are going deeper in themselves and not just doing a paint by number thing. They're saying, what colors do I love? How do I like to do business? How do I like to do video? I don't want to have the same things that everyone else has and look the same way, because then I'm just copying them. But I have to know who I am, and I have to go through those ups and downs. And yeah, there might be times of stagnation and dormancy where I am just kind of just saying, I'm blocking it all out. I can't take it. Realize that when you do that, take a breath. How can I instead maybe go into some hibernation time? How can I fatten up with the things that I need and rest and relax with God, who made me, who knows me, who wants to make me full and happy and healthy? And then when I come out of that deep sleep, I'm ready to go. And I'm creating this amazing stuff that I didn't know was in there. You have more to give than you even know. You might be on the downward part of your journey right now. Sometimes you have to go through the times of death and dying to maybe what you want, or a bad thought process, because on the other side of that is life. So I leave you with that. As always, stay creative. It's that important. Please like and subscribe. I do have podcasts, so Spotify and Google and all those other things too. Thank you so much for hanging with me. This is Pete from the Pete Says Vlogcast, and I'll check you next time.